Hello friends, in this video I am going to talk to you about GST, the Goods and Services Tax, which is the talk of the town. With the passage of the amendment by the Rajya Sabha and later its ratification again of the amendment by the Lok Sabha, the way is paved for the GST regime in India. It will be one of the most important tax reform after the independence in this country. As it is said, one country, one tax, and that is GST. Now what is this GST and what difference it makes and how does that difference is made? GST, as it is said, one country, one tax, will do away with so many multiple taxes, like the taxes which are levied by the center, the CST, states, VAT, again center, the excise duty, so many other kind of taxes and duties, but we will talk about it little later. So now what is the roadmap for the GST implementation? The government is firm in its resolve to bring in GST from 1st April 2017. But then what are the hurdles? There are so many legislative and administrative clearances which are required. First of all, this amendment in the Constitution will have to be ratified by at least 50% of the states of the country, that is 15 states. So they have to pass these amendments. Thereafter, the President of India will give assent to this bill. After having received the assent, then the GST Council will be formed by the government. And the GST Council will then decide about the rates of the GST and the goods to be put in under those rates, goods and services. So this is the roadmap. After having done that, then only the government can decide a date, which most probably will be 1st April 2017. Now, what difference it will make? It will make a major difference in avoiding the cascading effect on the prices of the goods and services. Like today, you cannot get this set off of MVAT or VAT out of the excise duty. But after the GST, all the taxes input credit will be given and the overall cost or the impact will reduce of the taxation. So what are the taxes which are included in GST? As I said earlier, GST will have a dual tax structure. The central GST, CGST, and the state GST, that is SGST. Central GST will cover the taxes like excise duty, additional duties, SAD, service tax, various kind of cess, all these which are the central taxes. And the SGST, that is the state GST, will include the VAT, octroi, incoming, there are various places, there is a goods inward tax, entertainment tax, all these kind of taxes which are the state tax, all will get merged under GST. Now what is absolutely out of the purview of the GST? are the taxes like customs duty, import duty, export duty, stamp duty, the entertainment tax for the local corporate bodies, civic bodies. These are the taxes which are absolutely are kept out of the purview of the GST. Now there are two other important products. One is the alcohol for the human consumption, which has been kept again out of the purview of the GST, which means that they will continue to be taxed the way they are being taxed today. The petroleum and petroleum products are though covered under GST. The GST Council will continue for some time the same procedure which is adopted today, that is the excise duty, the sales tax, VAT, etc. will continue, because there is a very wide ranging differences between the taxes which are levied by different states on these products. The third component of the structure, in addition to the central GST and the state GST, is for the interstate IGST, integrated GST, for the interstate transaction of the goods and services. But while the set-off of the input credits will not be allowed or intermingled in case of the central GST and state GST, in case of the IGST, it will be allowed. Now let me explain you by way of an example that you have the say CGST, central GST, where you have excise duty, you have service tax. Now your input credit which you get can be set off only against these taxes, whereas the input credit which you get on the states like VAT, similar taxes which are in the states which I narrated some time back, it can be set off only against central state GST, but it is allowed to be carried forward. So now the question arises that will it be inflationary? Yes, in the short run it can be inflationary, because suppose, say for example, service tax on the services. Today the rate of the service tax including the cess is 15%. But once the GST comes, the standard rate which is expected by the chief economic advisor of this country is going to be 18 to 19%. So the tax rate under GST of all the products and services will be that 18-19%. So the service tax will increase from 15% to maybe 19%. So the 4% increase. So in the short run, it can be inflationary. Similarly, there are various items which are taxed at 12%. All essential items. Now they will also be taxed at the same 18 or 19%, whichever has been decided or bill is being decided. So in the short run, it will be inflationary. But once this benefit of the input credit starts in the system across the board, then the prices will tend to go down. Like in case of automobile industry, it will be a great beneficial factor as against the consolidated taxes today of maybe anything from 25 to 30%. It will come down to the same 18 or 19%, whichever rate is being decided. Similarly, for the for the transport industry, for the entire logistic industry. It will be greatly beneficial because there won't be any octroi, there won't be any entry tax. So the vehicles need not stand on the octroi for paying the octroi for the hours together. It will be free flow of goods interstate. So it will be greatly benefited. I mean, the overall cost again there will come down substantially, and lot of national wastage which is taking place today will not be so once the GST is introduced. And this, particularly this amendment bill of GST, has clarified many contentious issues like 1% interstate tax, which was originally proposed, is gone away. The states have been promised by the center to meet all their losses for the next 5 years. These are the major benefits which are addressed. The same way the GST Council has to form a grievance committee for settling the center-state disputes and state-to-state disputes, which will be again an independent body. The IGST which is collected will not be a part of the consolidated fund of the country of India, but it will be for the benefit of the states. So all those issues where dispute was there, great dispute was and differences were there, have been addressed, and many of them have been, problems have been removed. So I don't find any difficulty in clearing those hurdles which are on the way now. I mean, those procedures or processes. The stock market in India, I have also taken it very positively. But the benefit of the GST or its passing is already factored in by the time the bill is actually finally the amendment is passed by Rajya Sabha. So we don't find or we don't see any euphoria after passing the bill. But definitely during last 1 month the expectation was there of the GST will be passed, and that is why the markets have run up. See, the benefit is enormous of GST because world over GST has been very, very successful. It is employed or it is made applicable in almost about 160 countries in the world, and the benefits are known for everyone. Because even for a layman, we should understand one country, one tax, how simple it would be to transfer the goods and services from one state to another state. There will be issues, there will be some teething problems, because we are bringing such a great reform in taxation in the country. But eventually it will be successful and it will be beneficial to everyone. And I am sure that GST will definitely be applicable or will start or will roll out from 1st April 2017, and अच्छे दिन उसके बाद आएंगे. Thank you.